and really jumped his game up.
He'll get it to the 23-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 27 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us up.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
We've been at enough practices, and how many times have we stood on the sidelines and a unit goes out to kick a field goal and hear the special teams coach say, make sure you protect. First thing, protect. And then they give up a block.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this, tied second half. This is when execution is so key.
They go over everything in the huddle. The last thing you're going to hear everywhere, make sure you protect. That didn't get done.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Cousins to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Well, timeout on their side here. In fact, a lot going against them. They do have a small glimmer of hope.
No one likes to play extra football. They want to go for the win right now.
Here's Cousins. Finding time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Tressway now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And we move our focus to Thomas Rawls. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Now Wilson, and that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play, able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that takes us from second to third down. Throwing now is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. And it brings up fourth down.
Looked like they had an opportunity.
And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. Again, we'll see the pistol here. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. They go, oh no, he lost the football. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins now, their defense coming back onto the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They start on the ground with Rawls. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
First down, this is Rawls. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. but they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part one is done, now part two. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Cousins to throw it. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Christian Michael was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And able to find Graham, complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Fresh set of downs here.
Well, let's begin by trying to get into the mind of the head coach. He's telling us he wants to win the game right now. That's why they went for it and got it on 4th down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Again, it's Rolls. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score in OT finishes it off, but all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree, and the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all, and then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, a running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.